And so what did you learn from this? Let's explore the recent meditation experience.
Well, I actually did it. So I signed up for a 10-day Vipassana retreat, which is a 10-day silent meditation, and it happens all around the world. And there's one here in Melbourne in May that I've got. And so it's you lock yourself off to the world, and you're in with a group of people, but you're not allowed to make any eye contact. So no eye contact for 10 days, no note-taking for 10 days. First meditation in the morning is at 4:30. Last meditation is at about 8 p.m.
Wow.
And, you do different forms of meditation. There's, Vipassana is a style, just like mindfulness, just like Vedic. And so I went there, or I've signed up for that, because I've done ayahuasca twice. I've done DMT numerous times. And I don't know what I'm searching for, but I think this evolution of self-growth, I think for me, where I'm at, I can't deny that.
Yep.
And so something will come about sitting by yourself for 10 days.
Yep.
The people that I've heard that have done it say the first 2 days are... first day is exciting.
Yeah.
Second day, you're pretty freaking relaxed.
Yeah.
All you've been doing is meditating for 2 days.
First day's like, I'm fucking spiritual.
Yeah.
Second day's like, dude, I'm sick.
Yeah. Third day starts to get hard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is hell.
Yeah.
You haven't spoken a word. I can't even remember what I did 10 days ago.
Yeah.
So on paper, this ego that I have is saying, yep, you'll do it. That's my front ego. Also, my back ego is shit scared. I am really shit scared of potentially walking out before the 10 days is up. And I think it's going to be really interesting as a test of character and life of when things get uncomfortable. What do you do? What do you naturally do? I don't know if you've ever done yoga before.
Yep.
So when we do yoga, sometimes when you hold, certain poses, it gets really uncomfortable. And then just notice, what do you do? Like, do you change position? Do you shrug your shoulders a bit? Do you take an extra breath? Do you try and move out of that uncomfortable position because that's an instant reaction for you?
Yeah.
Or do you sit there and go, actually, what do I need to learn right now? What am I trying to run away from in life? And so I think when you force yourself into these retreats, because I think that's when, the growth will happen, when you've really got to isolate yourself and immerse yourself in this. I think that's where the growth is going to happen. So I'm really shit scared that, potentially I'll run away, and then, you look at yourself, do you see that as a failure, or what happens from there? And this is all the unknown, right? And
yeah.
This is the funny thing on reflection, like, I'm forecasting the unknown. What does meditation do?
Yeah, well, it keeps you in the
Brings
present.
you back to the present.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
being in the present.
all of this growth, man. Like, I'm super interested to to explore what character comes out at the end of the 10 days.
Yeah.
Because ayahuasca is completely different to what I expected. Completely different. I think I went there wanting to find who I am and came out not, didn't get that answer that I was hoping for, simply for the fact that the answer I was hoping for isn't me.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And so you have this expectation, and when you actually turn that expectation into appreciation, your life totally changes. And so I went into ayahuasca with this expectation of just give me the answer, tell me what I'm meant to do. And you hear all these stories and you have all these crazy visualizations, but they're so subtle. They're so subtle that upon reflection, it really brought me back to the simple things in life. And then when I say you, I talk about myself here.
Yep.
I do DMT, and again, what am I trying to search for? What is it that I need to tap into? What's inside of me that needs to come out?
Yep.
And that's all it is. We have all these different layers, and we have, on the polar ends of the spectrum, we have our front ego that thinks you're better than what you are, and it's there to protect you.
Yep.
And that's the ego a lot of people associate with. But we also have a back cover, which is our back ego, and that's there to also protect you. And that doesn't think that you're better than what you are or you're good enough. So you go back to school days. You know the answer, but you don't want to put your hand up because you don't want to get it wrong. You might get it wrong. You've got a social media post.
Yeah.
Right? I want to put it up, but I'm worried about the judgment, the criticism, so I might put something else better up. And it's, a lot of people are out there floating their front ego all the time, but both ends of your ego are there to protect you.
They're forcing us to fit in, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah.
And so inside these two ends of your ego, you have so many different layers. And it's just, I don't even know where I was going with that.
No. It's just a stream of consciousness, really. Yeah. It's funny, man. I'm totally fucking 100% on the same path with you here. And it's very interesting. I've always felt very grateful to have been thrust into this podcasting, or I guess this content experience with yourself and Bill. For people that I did, and obviously still do look up to as very close friends of mine, but you had developed further in life, and I was a young kid. And the best thing that you both did was you never let me just be me. And you especially, man, you always played devil's advocate with me and I really do believe some, whether it's a spiritual sense or was something, because you felt there was something there, that like we could really, grow together as mates, and you're talking about this front and back end ego, and you and I have spoken about this all the time, but it was that thing for me, that I can just see it all the time, is that, whenever there was like a quiet conversation or something, I'd make a joke or I'd do something like that. And, I won't deny that I do love making jokes anyway. I do just feel like I'm a naturally funny person, or like being, I love a good sense of humor, but it was doing it for the wrong reasons. It was an escape. It was an inability to just be calm in the silence, bathe in the moonlight and all this sort of thing. Do you feel like you can now look back on points in your life where you were doing things to satisfy some side of your ego? Or?
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Everything is on some part of your ego, considering, 2 minutes ago I was saying that almost everything is ego in this world. When you step outside your ego and you can just be your spiritual self. But then again, saying that I'm super spiritual has ego attached to it.
Yeah. We can't win, eh?
No, so it's really just which layer of ego are you playing and which one do you want to play at?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the Vipassana will, try to shine light on, which is my true self and what part of the spectrum. It doesn't matter if it's front, doesn't matter if it's back, doesn't matter if it's anywhere in the middle. But then I will have the choice of going, okay, if it's at the front or at the back, where do I want it to be? Who do I want to be?
Yeah. How can I use that?
What do I want to be? Absolutely. And in the past, there's been huge amounts of ego, from when you're an athlete and running your own business to now saying that, I'm changing people's lives all around the world. There's still ego attached everywhere.
For sure, of course. And I think it would be impossible for us not to, as we live in this human shell. You can't, we can't be, I think we just have to recognize that there is going to be some form of ego that always exists when the things we do and the people we speak to and what we say, but that's okay. I see ego though as everyone's got it. As long as your ego is not to boost your ego by deflating someone else's. Of course. Yes.
So I hold extreme ownership.
Yep.
For everything that happens, it's my fault.
Yeah.
If a butterfly dies out there, it's my fault because I wasn't there to save it. So it's really great. Perry and I, we never freaking argue at all because it's always our fault. That is our ego taking responsibility.
Yeah.
That is not our ego passing blame. There's a big difference there. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So we could share huge amounts of ego. You could say, you're wrong, and that's your ego. And I could say, mate, it's totally my fault. I wasn't there for you. Or, if what's something bad, if you get hit by a car or something like that, it's not the driver's fault, it's mine.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't have been walking on the road, or I could have been on the other side of the footpath. Like that whole extreme ownership.
Yeah.
That's where I live in a place of. And I think if you were to point your finger out away from you, the solution is always away from you. But if you were to point the finger inside, the solution is inside.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.